Good morning, Endeavour, and a very happy Monday morning to you on our first day back after half term. The sun has shone all the way through half term, hasn't it? What gorgeous weather we've had, and I cannot wait to hear all about your half term back garden, kind of around where we live, adventures, but I'm sure you've had lots of fun, whatever you've been up to. This half term, we are going on our travels to ancient Greece, and this week our class novel is just a bit of fun. It's called Zeus on the Loose by John Dougherty. A little bit lighter than The Explorer and very funny. So chapter 1 is called Temples. This is me, and this is the Greek god Zeus. You say it like Zeus. And this is the story of how he came to live in my house. It all started at school. We've been learning about ancient Greece, and now we're doing a project about Greek gods. In this particular lesson we were making model temples. I was doing a temple of Zeus. Really good it was. Looked like the genuine article, except smaller of course, and the real temple probably didn't have free inside, great special offer all over the roof, because it probably wouldn't have been made out of a cornflake box. But other than that, it was really good. Everyone said so. Even Troy. Troy used to be horrible, but he's trying ever so hard to be good this term. So instead of telling me it was rubbish like he would have done last year when he was mean to everyone all the time, he made a joke of it. He picked up my temple and started speaking to it in a big, deep, funny voice.
Hey Zeus, are you in there? Come and look at this really great temple Alex has made for you.
Everyone laughed, even Miss Wise. I wouldn't have laughed if I'd have known what was going to happen. After school I stayed behind. My mum works in school most days, hearing children in the infant classes read, and I usually stay until she's ready to come home. So I was tidying up for Miss Wise, who was in a staff meeting, when suddenly behind me there was this big booming voice. You know when you go to the cinema and they have trailers and a man with a very sore throat tells you about the film they're showing soon with exploding helicopters and someone saving the world? Well, it was like that, but even more boomy and echoey. And what it said was,
"It's a bit small, isn't it?"
Boy, did I jump. When you're in school, the scariest voice you expect to hear is the head teacher's, but even she cannot do a voice like this one. I turned round. There, standing on the display table, was a man. A great big bearded man in a sort of ancient Greek tunic, with a temple on his head. My temple. Or, rather, bits of my temple. He'd got the roof on, all right, and the cardboard pillars were dangling from it round his forehead, which looked a bit daft actually, because they were made out of loo rolls. The rest of the temple he was standing on, all my little plasticine priests, sacrifices and stuff, ruined. I'd have been furious if I hadn't been so scared. The big man stepped down off the table.
"Not very strong either,"
he boomed. Lightning danced around his forehead as we spoke, and the windows rattled.
"Wouldn't stand up in a light shower. Never mind if I smote it with a thunderbolt."
The whole room seemed to shake, and a mug wobbled off Miss Wise's desk and smashed on the floor. Broken pottery and cold coffee went everywhere, mostly on the big man.
"Did I do that?"
he boomed, and then he looked down at his bare feet. "Oh, yuck," he said to himself in a suddenly more normal tone. "Me and my big shouty voice. Just look at this tunic. I'll never get the stain off." Well, I was still scared, but not quite so scared. It's difficult to be terrified of someone who's getting a coffee stain off a tunic, which to be honest looks a bit like a girl's dress, so I spoke up. Excuse me," I said. The big man looked up, one hand dabbing at the stain. "What is it?" he said, and then seemed to remember himself and said,
"Yes, so mortal."
The room vibrated again, and a second cup leapt off the desk and smashed on the floor. Cold coffee splashed up again, soaking the man's bottom. "Oh, pooh," he said crossly. "Now look, it's even more ruined." I said again. "Yes, go on, I'm listening," the man said, turning around to see the stain on his bottom. "Well, who are you, and why are you wearing my temple on your head?" "Ha, ha, ha!" The man started to laugh, a great, huge laugh that rattled the windows all over again. He suddenly stopped and clamped his hand over his mouth, looking warily at Miss Wise's desk, which still had 3 or 4 mugs of half-full cold coffee on it. She's a bit like that, Miss Wise is. Clearing those up was going to be my next job. Once he was sure the other mugs were staying where they were, the man looked at me again. "Your temple, did you say?" I nodded. He laughed again, but this time without booming. And you're the god of what exactly? Cold drinks? Tidying up? Sorry, kid, I can't see anyone round here who wants to come and worship you. Never mind building a temple to do it in. No, this is definitely my temple. He went on, taking it off his head and waving it in my face. Not that it's much of a temple, being all tiny and falling apart like that the moment a decent-sized god appears in it, but you can't really be too choosy these days. I narrowed my eyes. What do you mean it's yours? I built it, I said. Oh, you did you? He said. And what is it then? It's the Temple of Zeus, I answered, and it was the best one in the class until you came along and put it on your head. I nearly added. Aha, got you, he grinned. It's the Temple of Zeus, and I'm Zeus, so it's my temple, whoever built it. And no to you, Alex. He paused, looking at the temple again before adding, by the way, what is that great special offer inside? Well, of course, I didn't believe for a moment he was Zeus, but... Wait a minute. How do you know my name? I demanded. He rolled his eyes. It was in the stupid prayer. What prayer? I don't remember hearing a prayer. Zeus, if that's who he was, sighed. Well, I heard it, and that's what counts. Someone prayed in my temple like this. Suddenly he changed his voice. It was Troy's voice. Rather a silly voice. You know, the one that Troy had put on. That came out of his mouth saying,
Hey, Zeus, are you in there? Come and look at this great temple Alex has made for you.
Then he spoke in his own voice again. So I came to see, and I've got to say, Alex, this is probably the worst temple I've ever appeared in. I was beginning to get pretty fed up, but, well, in that case, why don't you just buzz off, I said. Anyway, that wasn't a proper prayer, it was just messing around. Zeus shrugged his shoulders. He was in my temple, or at least the voice was, and he was speaking to me. I count that as a prayer. When you get as few prayers as I do these days, you can't afford to be choosy. So that was a prayer, and this is a temple, and since there's no one else here, I hereby appoint you as my high priest. Come on, let's go back to your house. Well, as you can imagine, I was not having that. No way, I said. There is absolutely no way, Zeus. No flipping way. What'll I say to my mum when I get home with a great whacking Greek god in a coffee-stained dress? He smiled. Don't worry, he said. She won't even know I'm there. Or at least she won't know it's me. Us Greek gods can do the most amazing things. Which is how I came home that day with a talking hamster called Zeus, and how a top-of-the-range luxury hamster cage just magically appeared in my room, and why I had to spend the evening making another temple for school. Well, two, in fact. Zeus chewed up the first one and used it as a nest. Endeavour, I think this Zeus is going to be a handful. Join me tomorrow for chapter 2, which is called Sacrifices. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.